Dance with me, come on, dance with me, baby. Dance with me, come on, dance with me, baby. Dance with me, come on, dance with me, baby. Dance with me, come on, dance with me, baby. I want you and you want me. So why don't we get together after the day? When I first saw you, baby, you were looking good on the soul train. Oh, stop it for you. I saw you there. You were spinning, dancing everywhere. I thought to myself, she was so fine, the way she moved. Oh, she was so fine, baby, what she needed me. Dance with me, come on, dance with me, baby. Dance with me, come on, dance with me, baby. Oh, dance with me, come on, dance with me, baby. Think of cry, come on, dance with me, baby. Oh, you, and you know me. So get together after the day. While we dance, make record, baby. You are so fine. The way you move to me, your eyes told me one thing. Oh, the touch of your face, felt the vibration, baby. We started walking, we started talking. You need time to make up your mind. Oh, yeah. Nobody else will. That's how I feel. Please take me. Woo! What you gonna do? So why don't we get together after the day? Oh, If you're putting your house on the market, this is a story you have to see. It could save you thousands of dollars. All my love is all I have, and my dreams are very special. All my life I look for you, and today my dreams come true. You need me and I need you. Love us is very special. Things you seem to do divine. You look straight into my eyes. I know our love is meant to be, 'cause our souls touch differently. Love is life and life is living very special. In my heart that was yours holy. Love is life when dreams come true. And even though I can't have you, baby, these eyes like these are true. Hold my hand and take my life through these days of adventure. Once my love was truly great, and my life was so together. A change in life can bring good things when you're in love so sweet. Close to you and it should be, to remember days so sweet. I need you and you need me. Very special. Woo! Our love is to you. Got my girl. In my heart that was yours. Love is light when dreams come true. And even though I can't have you, baby, sighs like these are true.
Woo! Come on with it.
All my love is all I have, and my dreams are very special. All my life I look for you, and today my dreams come true. You need me and I need you. Love and us is very special.
Things you seem to do divine.
You look straight into me. I know our love is meant to be, 'cause our souls touch differently. Love is life and life is living. It's very special.
Oh, yes.
All my love is all I have. All my life I look for you, and today my dreams come true. You need me and I need you.
All right, we getting started. Hello, King Quest. Woo! How's the royal family?
Peace, blessings, and love, family.
How's the royal family?
Blessings and love, family.
How's the royal family?
Blessings and love, family.
How's the royal family?
Blessings and love, family. That go to show you the devil do what he wanna do. Ain't no Christian
The insult to injury, my royal family, is this country tries to play like and act like that does not exist at all. Does not exist at all.
Taking little boys' freedom away, manhood away, and ain't nobody going to jail.
The righteous of passage for a black male in America is to be racially profiled by the police. We all know it. We all know
That
it.
go to show you that's what they did. They want you to believe it, something that ain't never existed, and get mad at you.
And dealing with that, it affects you. It affects you mentally. It affects you physically. And that is the ultimate goal of the enemy, to fuck with our psyche.
Christianity supposed to show love. According to their Bible, Jesus said, love you one another. But how is that love? You're oppressing somebody.
Now, it just happened that this summer we have seen the hyperbia, how in this country, damn near the entire Caucasoid race profiles us. It ain't just the unquote police.
That's right. That is not of our culture. It is not of our nature to do evil things like that. We got a lot of brothers and sisters doing evil things like that because we are new people. We are not the same people our ancestors were before European invasion.
They'll call the police on us for the most frivolous thing. And many of us have been putting up videos as well as myself. And the thing that I have learned from this is that the police wants this to continue to go on, and because their attitude is you can never be sure.
The church commits genocide on their own people, not only the melanated families, started with their own people, and folks in Christianity in a cruel, in a vile way of genocide, murder, terror, and fear.
They continue to subjugate us and to fuck with our psyche. Now, the entire royal family, which has been going on all along, but see, Big Brother is watching you. And what the enemy did not factor in, that they would be watched too.
Animals do things like that. Have no pity, have no compassion, have no love. And that's the way they think. These so-called Christians, these so-called Roman Catholics.
This is something they cannot and will not ever get on cold, because it is part of their nature to fuck with us. Every animal has an ego, and we have one too. And we need to study nature more and what the animal kingdom do to protect themselves from their natural enemies.
And the Vatican is the house of Satan. The Vatican is the house of Satan. All these Baptist churches is the house of Satan. That's right, Baptist. All that we do, we have been conditioned to do. This lifestyle, this matrix that we are living in, this make-believe world.
All right, my royal family. How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, this won't be a long hangout. I know many know by now that the pig, Van Dyke, is guilty. But before I get deeper into it, I'm going to always show respect to our mother and our father. So, Father God and Mother God, I thank you for your mercy and I thank you for your grace. And I pray that you continue to protect the royal family in this war. And I pray that many, many souls will go to you and you only. Father, Mother, thank you for the divine hand. Amen. So, my royal family, I have some videos to show y'all. Well, two so far that I'm going to show the royal family. Um, and y'all pretty much know why I got that title there, because the enemy, um, they'll say these folks is guilty, and they'll get a slap on the wrist, because in this shithole that we live in, Black life um, has no value. They know who we are. Well, we are very, very valuable. They don't even have an increment to put behind that. And we don't worry about that because that does not affect us. But what I have been noticing, and many too as well in the royal family, I had played a video, I think it was last week, and the DA's lawyer in um, Dallas was talking down to the Edwards family, or no, the Edwards family supporters, that why this cop only get 15 years for slaughtering our royal son. They know which ones to hire. So, they like to talk to us like we ain't nothing but children. And we are becoming well versed in the law because of this type of technology that we have is literally at our fingertips. We know the system. We know how the enemy get down. Oh yeah, we know their psyche. We study in you too. And so we're supposed to be grateful um, when they get a little bit of time. You got us fucked up. You could give them the needle. You can give them the electric chair. It would never be enough. It'll never, ever, ever be enough. See, this is where we have to separate our nature, because we got some good hearts. We some good people. We're some forgiving people. But it is making us sick, all this forgiveness stuff. You'll never be able, because as I speak, and I say this often, every millisecond, put that in your psyche. Somebody is fucking with the chosen ones. Every millisecond. So we will see more of these guilties, because this unquote at your finest, they never was at their finest. To be a police officer was a dignified job. They greasy. They gangsters. Every single day throughout America is something going on with the cops. I said they gonna reform their damn self. But to be grateful? Oh no. See, I believe in the checks and balance system for us. This is where we need to stay on each other's ass. If you feel a twinge in your heart like you're gonna do that, well, maybe we need to set it up like I can't, like those AA programs where you have a friend or a buddy or a sponsor or something, where we link up. So just before you do some dumb shit, check with your people. We got to do something. This is real, and they take joy when we do this, and it just destroys us inside. You're killing it, and it's like it's all that energy. That energy, we got to continue to put out in the universe what we want. We got to be very deliberate in our intentions. I want the enemy to feel. I not necessarily don't want them to die, because dying is easy. They can die a slow death, painful death, but we need to continue to put it out in the universe. So this bitch get guilty. Oh yeah, and we're gonna take joy looking at his sorry ass. Let me go over here real quick before I play these videos. All that crying up on the stand. Shit didn't work, bitch, huh? But see, We know how the enemy gets down. You know, they subject to give him 16 years for every bullet that he pumped in our royal son's body. We're supposed to feel some kind of way. And they stalled this case for the longest. What? I think Laquan was killed in 2014. The mayor, he had the suppressed. That's the word they like to use. The actual tape. So he could get another term as being mayor in Chicago. Crazy. I mean, just crazy. And then you want to insult our intelligence and explain to us that I fear for my life. A little tiny fucking knife. And Jeffro here, look at him. Look how dumb he looked. He basically, he feared for his life and he had to kill the gun, kill the knife. I was like, I would lock your ass up just for being fucking dumb. I mean, you're lying already. I could help you lie. Damn, you couldn't come with anything better than that? Just weak. He didn't even show any strength. And then they had his comrades or them gangsters come to show solidarity and be there for him. He couldn't demonstrate no strength. He's showing his core, what they really is. Oh, they Billy Badass. Guns, tasers. I seen a funny picture, if I could find it in my travels. Yesterday, I seen a picture of this Jeffro and his Becky wife. They both had on bulletproof vests. I'm like, really? 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 Damn, I wish I could find that with him and his wife. So anyway, let's get into it. Well, before I get into it, let me check with y'all because I'm not looking at y'all right now. Before I play these two videos, is there anybody that want to get on the panel to render their voice? Let me just put the link in there real quick. Because sometimes what'll happen is I'll be rolling real hard and folks be wanting me to do certain things. And if y'all knew how quickly you can shut down your stream back here, we have to move kind of slow. So it's like a lot of housekeeping we have to do behind the scenes. But let me put that link in. I'm gonna play these two videos. Okay. There's a link. A couple of more people need to be mods. Hey, how you doing, Taryn? You got your violins? I feel you. All right. Let's see here. Let's get this shit right. I want to make sure I got everything right. Because I found they got a long version of these videos. I said, nah, I want this shit. The juicy parts. I don't need to hear all that other shit. So let's see here. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, I feel you, Lisa. That's why I titled it the way I titled it. They're not fooling us with that shit. We know they damn games. They want us to be grateful. They got us fucked up. And it did that too many times. They're predictable. So anyway, here we go.
Murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Van Dyke, guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm, first shot. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Van Dyke, guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm. Second shot. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Van Dyke, guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm. Third shot. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Van Dyke, guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm. Fourth shot. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Van Dyke, guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm. Fifth shot. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Van Dyke, guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm. Sixth shot. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Van Dyke, guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm. Seventh shot. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Van Dyke, guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm. Eighth shot. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Van Dyke, guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm. Ninth shot. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Van Dyke, guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm. Tenth shot. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Van Dyke, guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm. 11th shot. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Van Dyke, guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm. 12th shot. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Van Dyke, guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm. 13th shot. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Van Dyke, guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm. 14th shot. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Van Dyke, guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm. 15th shot. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Van Dyke, guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm. 16th shot. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Van Dyke, not guilty of official misconduct.
All right. Did you catch that dig, family? Did y'all catch that? That last one was a not guilty. Did y'all catch that shit? Uh-huh. They hate having to do their fucking job. But to be grateful, because we don't know what he gonna get. Like I said, I think they're gonna give him 16 years for every bullet that he pumped in our royal son's body. That's what I predict. Just like with the other situation down in Dallas. And then you're gonna talk down to us like we children. That's an insult to us. Shit, you get 15 years, what'd he do? 8? That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. And then we're supposed to be grateful. And we got our own talking to us like this. Remember, that's that Faith Johnson. Well, I got you 15 years. People calling me around the world, fuck you. You need to get a set of fucking teeth. Gonna be grateful. See, we can't let people talk down to us like that. People do that on these YouTube channels. When I talk to the royal family, I'm humble. You my family. I don't talk down to you. We sit up there and let somebody chastise us. We adults. We don't even let nobody talk to our children like that. They royals. Wow, Lisa. Minimum 6. Lord have mercy. Okay, let me play this little short one here. Oh, yeah. And then I pick up on the energy. You know, we pick up on energy and it's like, oh, that's devastating. Because the video that I was going to play, y'all, but it was just too long. It was 31 minutes. You can hear the anger even before they even said guilty, because you knew they was going to say it. The judge was giving instructions. He all choked up. What you choked up for? Y'all been winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. Eventually, karma will catch up with your ass. I talk about the nature of many things, but to be grateful? No, it'll never be enough. And that's the attitude that we have to have. Y'all really need to watch. When I watched that documentary on Keenway's channel about what truly happened in Haiti, what truly happened, and how they wanted us to focus on certain things. And what do? We whooped their ass, and then the ones that was left alive, we put them on the ship, give them food, and they came back to kill us. You got to leave no stone unturned. That's these people's nature. They was born this way. And then they raggedy ass mamas enforce it. Make sure. So anyway, I'm gonna be grateful. Got me fucked up.
Your Honor, at this time, the state will move to revoke defendant cases named by Spahn.
Mr. Hurd.
Judge, we would ask that the motion for the state to be denied. We would ask that, in light of the fact that client is not found guilty of first-degree murder, we would ask for a bond review. In the alternative, we would ask that next week for a bond review.
Mr. McMahon.
Judge, I would object to that. Defendant's been convicted of 16 counts of aggravated battery with a firearm. They're Class X felonies. Mandatory minimum sentence is 6 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections. Maximum of 30 years on each count. Given that he now stands before this court as a convicted felon, it has to be revoked his bond.
All right, bail will be revoked. All right, I'm going to order a pre-sentence investigation.
You take that perk walk, bitch. Take that perk walk.
All right, order court.
Just like you did Bill
31st,
Cosby.
2018. All right.
Bye, bitch.
All right.
I caught that. I see what you was talking about, Lisa. They said minimum 6, maximum 30. I caught that. Here. Here's the link if anybody want to come in and render their voice. And oh, that dude is weak looking. Weak. Just weak. And then they have the nerve to ask, can his ass sit at home a little bit more? Y'all been pulling stall tactics for 4 fucking years. You didn't lay up with your wife enough. She'll go get somebody else. I hope his name is Tyrone. Yeah, I can get greasy too. They really did us a disservice. But they want us to be grateful. You know? You know, it's like even when, unquote, the enemy is giving, they want you to be grateful. So they want you to stroke them. Fuck y'all. I don't need nothing from you. No, I do need one thing from you. Leave us the fuck alone. But they don't know how to do that. They don't know how to do that. That's why I keep saying, in the animal kingdom, they all have an enemy. They have to continue to watch their back. And some of us done got lackadaisical. This beast is our enemy. And this, like I said, summer has been very eye-opening. If some of our folks don't get it, they'll never get it. They study us. They watch us. And we need to watch them too. And separate from them as much as possible. But our energy, saying, I forgive you. When you do that, that energy, that does something to us. Show no emotion, nothing. And demand more. Keep demanding more. But they'll find some old punctified ass coon that want to talk down to our people and tell us what we should accept. That's when we need to slap the taste out of their mouth. This is all I know. This is all I know. I'm always seeing somebody in the royal family get killed, destroyed. My stepfather, Romaine Chip Fitzgerald, is the oldest political prisoner in the state of California. He has done 49 years. Look it up. Look it up. The cops shot him in the head. He walked around with a bullet in his head for 2 weeks. And they said he killed the police. Never owned a gun in his life. Who walks around with a bullet in their head? Kill the police and then kill a security. He said he could barely lift his head up. He was hiding in his girlfriend's apartment. Oh, they get out real funky. And then now, everybody got a camera and we filming them being greasy. So the new thing is, well, you don't know what happened before the footage started. Nah. That's why I keep saying we need to continue to stay in a state of prayer and humbly asking the divine hand to do what the divine hand need to do. But we have to do our part too. Because we got some of our folks out here just think, oh, well, I just pray and then that's it. You got to put some action in this shit. You got to put some energy in this. So let me look over here real quick at this other computer. See what y'all have to say. No, never forgive. So they said a minimum of 6 and a maximum of 30. Mm-hmm. I'm just in your comments. Yes, smite them. Correct. Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get so tired of them fucking with us. We'll get there. We're gonna get tired of the beatdown. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know about Daniel Hartscloth. I was reading up on that, and they trying to say that the police officer, which was a gay white woman, had an agenda, and she had so much power and so much influence with her agenda that that's why Hartscloth is in jail, and he wasn't out there raping no crackhead looking women and dope fiends and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, wow. And then I think of the Me Too group, and it ain't nothing more than a group. Even though a sister started it and they hijacked it, the KKK for white women. They were asked, I don't think it was the Me Too. I'm not exactly sure, but it's a lot of feminist groups out there. And they asked them, well, why didn't you support these black women? And they came up with, oh, we didn't want to infringe on the case and, mess it up. Y'all just come up with anything. Y'all, it's selective when we know it. Selective. And y'all remember before Trump was elected, do anybody remember when I said I could see a problem? I said, okay, if Hillary becomes elected, how is the white woman going to act? And then I said, if Trump becomes elected, how is the white woman going to act? And some people was like, what are you talking about? I said, I see a problem. And look at what's going on. How is the white woman going to act? And some people was like, what are you talking about? I said, I see a problem. Who I got up here? Let me get it over here. I was still looking at the picture. Oh, hey, Lisa, how you doing? Hi, King Wage. Let me get his ugly ass off of here. I don't even want to look at him. I'm still looking at the picture. Oh, hey, Lisa, how you doing?
How you doing,
Hi,
Queen?
King Wage. I'm fine.
How are you?
I'm fine, King Wage. Are you on mute? I'm still looking at the picture. Oh, hey, Lisa, how you doing?
How you doing,
Hi,
Queen?
King Wage. I'm fine.
How are you?
I'm fine. Do we got it together? Oh, hey, Lisa, how you doing?
How you doing,
Hi, King
Queen?
Wage. I'm fine.
How are you?
I'm fine. Do we got it together? All right.
Okay. I don't hear anything anymore.
Okay, we good. We good. So let me finish this real quick. So I was saying I could see a problem before the election about how Becky gonna get down, and I keep bringing up the same thing that she's been pissed off, and that I think they had already had the suffrage movement, but that kicked it off because Becky been pissed off because the brothers was able to vote before her. And twice Hillary just thought she was just going to take that throne, and it didn't work out. So when Trump became president, we had fun. They was up there crying, falling all apart and everything. And what I envisioned, I said, if Hillary becomes president, I can see a lot of these old snot-nosed ass white women getting some real top positions and stuff. But also what I seen too was when they used that slogan, "Make America Great Again," it said a lot. They wanted her to take her ass back home and start having children and shut the fuck up. So right now, as I speak, I was telling my husband early this morning, I said, so these white women now think they just gonna hijack politicians and start screaming at them. They out there marching up and down the street. No, when y'all criticizing us marching, you're doing the same damn thing. They don't give a damn if your ass got molested or raped. They don't give a damn. And it don't matter who gets that seat up there. It doesn't matter for us. It don't matter who up there, because they're gonna always subjugate us. And I've been seeing droves. It doesn't matter for us.
Oh, sorry about that. Let me mute myself.
Who up there? Because they're gonna always. I've been seeing droves of women of color speaking in Becky's behalf. And I said, some of us will never learn. But just check how they getting down. They can hijack politicians and scream at them. Let us do that. We go to jail. They don't care what we saying. But then there's some of us that want to be validated by this damn beast, and they up there being the voice. Woo! All right. Let the panel speak.
Well, I think the most irritating thing for me about Me Too is the hypocrisy. See, when it comes down to the white man, they will call him out and it won't go any further than that. When it comes down to the black man, they want him jailed. And you also notice, Queen, with all of these damn sexual abuse claims from these women, you notice no prosecutors say, I'm going to come forward and investigate that. Maybe we need to bring charges. Well, they did that to Bill Cosby. But it seems like every week, we can't go a week without some new white man coming out with some charge of sexual harassment or abuse. But I don't see not one nary prosecutor around this country coming after any of them.
Nope. They expose them, and that's as far as they want to go. In fact, one of those, I think, what was that? One of those, I don't know which one it was. Was it Matt Lauer?
Matt Lauer.
Yeah, Lauer. They was feeling sorry for him. Oh no.
Why?
Selective. You're being selective.
Yeah.
So you feel, that's why I get on people. You feel some kind of way about that person. So since you feel some kind of way about that person, they can get away with their shit. I was talking about that yesterday. Some of these YouTubers out here to be doing all kind of greasy shit.
Yes.
And then when if I brought it up and pointed out certain things, oh, I know the gauntlet would come down on me. That's why
there'll be people telling you, oh no, they're nice. What are you talking about? Oh, that's a nice person. And you know what, Queen? You and I know better.
Yeah, I know. And it's just better just to let that, what I have learned is to let that person hang themselves, or the people that's thinking they so nice, eventually they will have an experience, because that is their nature and it will show up.
Yes.
It really will and stuff. But when I seen that, I said, yeah, they're going to want us to be grateful. And I mean, this case, they started it out wrong. Because it was so funny to me where the cops, and I never understood that part, where they went back to the fast food place and they're deleting footage. And I'm like, what? That didn't even what a crime. The child didn't even get killed over there. And then the mayor suppressed the tape. And I'm like, the video. And I'm like, wow. And so then secretly pay the family off, I think about $5 million. And then what I noticed what they've been doing is they will have the family go out there and say, we don't want no violence. We don't want this and that. You know, they telling them what they need to do. And I'm like,
yeah, but you know what, Queen, they do that with tapes all the time. If you think back to the Mike Brown case, remember they went right to that store to get the video that he was in. And then they wouldn't show that video for nearly over a year. Then a year later, they released it and it showed Mike Brown took nothing from that store.
I've seen it.
You know, so they always playing around with the video.
Yeah. And then telling us, oh, we're just being fair and balanced and we have to put that out. No. It's a smear campaign. Because even like right now in Dallas, they saying they're not going to put out the 911 recording. But you broke your neck to say some weed that y'all planted up in there. And to the point y'all ran to the funeral to tell the family. Y'all greasy. That's evil. That's evil.
You know, Queen, it goes back to what I was saying. If they do that case and they don't remove those doors from those apartments, then I know they're covering up for Amber Geiger. Because you know what? They don't really need Botham Jean's key fob, but they really do need Amber. And they need both of those doors in the courtroom so they can swipe both of them and show how her key fob could have never worked in his door. That can easily be demonstrated. And then there is no doubt that this bitch is lying. But, you know, they are going above and beyond. It's not just the Dallas police. It's the Texas Rangers asses too. They are going above and beyond to protect her.
It's a lot of hands in it. It's a lot of hands in it.
Yes.
And it opened my eyes. I never even heard of the Texas Rangers. And I was saying on one of the hangouts I did about this, I pointed something out. They were saying, oh, well, we're going to give it to the Texas Rangers. And the word they keep using is transparency. Well, the reason why you have all these different agencies is because of how y'all get down. And then when you say transparency, that also tells me y'all can't even trust each other. Everybody doing something, stabbing each other in the back.
Yes.
That's because of them. Because I don't remember his name, but I had put a video up on Black Junction where this, I think he was an alderman. I'm not sure of his position. And he wouldn't apologize to white people. And he was saying that pretty much his job is to deal with racism on the job.
Oh, I remember that guy.
Yeah, something wrong. Yeah, and it's like that's all he's dealing with. That he noticed there's always something racial going on. That's how they get down. I'm telling y'all something I know. They real easy to sue. Real easy. The last job that I worked on, I sued they ass and it was sweet. And I did what my father said. He said, keep a little diary. If they do something, write down date, time, location. Date, time, location in the incident.
Yeah.
And when I went and got that lawyer, it corresponded with Caltran. Caltran is the inspectors for the state of California. Because they was messing with me so much. And normally I would just cuss you out, throw a hammer at you and stuff. And I said, I'm not doing that. I'm going to get paid. I'm tired of fighting at work. They real easy. But one thing, I'm putting this out for a reason. I know they mess with us at work. Don't hope and wish and pray they'll leave you alone. They're not going to leave you alone. You might as well just start, because white folks are scared of paperwork. My father told me the very thing that the enemy is afraid of, they will project it on you. So they'll write you up at work. You know, you can write them up.
Yeah, and you don't have to sign anything they write up on you.
Sure
That's
don't.
another thing. You do not have to put your name on any paper. They wrote up on you.
I'm glad you said that, because when they laid me off, 4 white men demanded for me to um, sign some paperwork. And in the world of construction, you get laid off a lot. I've been in the game. I've been in construction since I was a teenager, and I already knew the ins and outs. And they was demanding for me to sign that. And I was thinking to myself, my father was still living at the time. I was gonna have to answer to my father and my husband. No way, no way, not them two together. No, no way. And I taught my children that too. You don't sign nothing that white people put in your face. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Talking about, oh, it's no big deal. You just got, well, if it's no big fucking deal, why you want me to sign this shit?
Mm-hmm.
No, I ain't signing shit.
Because, if you sign all that stuff, then you know what they can do? They can make excuses for not giving you a raise. Oh, well, you got written up. So, we don't have to give you a raise. That's the kind of stuff they'll do.
Mm-hmm.
Or, or if you're looking to get promoted or move to another department, that's how they can stop you with that. Oh, well, we wrote you up and you signed it. Don't ever sign it. Don't ever sign it. It's better for them to write on there refused.
And see, and then the flip side of that is when they are messing with you, even the cops, and even though they may not do anything, you file a complaint. They'll put it in their files, and then when they want to get another position, because they cutthroat with each other, they will look in their personal file and say, well, you did get written up, you won't get that position. Because my son had an incident, and I was with him, my oldest son, with the police, and I was so angry that I said, I told my father, it's useless to even go down there and file anything. And when he broke it down, he said, I know they're not going to do anything, but he said they don't like. He said the enemy don't like any blemishes on them, and I'm like, oh, okay.
But Sonia, see, you're right. Coons at work that side with the enemy. And also if you have a boss that's a coon, because I've experienced that before, where you would have a higher up and he's a straight up coon. Yeah.
Yeah. When
what? Handle them just like you would the devil.
You know what was surprising to me? How many black women was screwing them white guys at work. I couldn't get past that. And then my husband told me that a lot of the white guys he would work with would say, oh, can you get me a black woman? I was surprised. Some sisters that I was with.
Now they're saying that, Queen, because they're trying to have babies.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, they're looking for the black women now to give birth.
Becky has no value, and she is up there screaming and hollering. I seen it when I got up this morning, and I said another one up here screaming and hollering. They are so upset about this damn guy, and I'm like, it don't matter who up there. It don't matter.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm trying to tell people, you're going to have to step it up in staying away from them, because not only do you have this white man knowing that, all the other women are more fertile than his woman, even the Chinese man knows that too, and he ain't got enough women to marry. So that's why they're hopping over there to Africa, grabbing up those women. And you would be amazed if you look up Chinese African marriages. It's a ton.
I seen
a ton of videos.
I looked it up. I was shocked.
Africa to get wives.
I didn't even know that was going on until I looked it up, and I'm like, they're not even attractive. Ugh. There's a lot of them. It's some that live directly across the street from me. Yeah. Said, wow, because they trying to take over, and they did shoot themselves in the foot. Because I remember, I think I was a teenager when they started doing that. They can only have one child.
Yes.
And and then what they did, they was some of them women was aborting babies. She'd be 6 months pregnant.
Oh, they said they can abort all the way up to 9 months. You know that?
Wow.
They can abort anywhere all the way up, even if they're in the 9th month. China will allow them to abort.
Wow. Yeah, they
I
are.
think that's pretty damn sick to abort a baby that's damn near full term, but they do
The
that in China.
child's alive. I seen a documentary on PBS where they got a black market where they're going to other countries stealing women because they that desperate to get a woman.
Yeah.
It's a trip.
Yeah, that's going on in China right now. And many of these Chinese women, their families have to go looking for them because they're being snatched. The women are being snatched. And many times they said they're getting taken up into mountainous places, like really remote places where you really won't see them. And they got to really go hunting. And it's gotten so bad in China with them snatching women. They're even snatching married women.
What?
Yeah, because these men cannot find wives. So even women that are, because one man I was watching, he's been looking for his wife for like a year and a half. Somebody took his wife. But that's what they're doing. Those men are so desperate, they're taking any women. They don't even care if the women are married.
Wow.
And kidnapping them. That's how messed up it is in China. People don't know. It's really bad. With the ratio between men and women, it's really bad.
Well, you know what? They've been getting a pass for a long time because people didn't put the Asians in a category where they're humble and meek. You know, they hard working, they don't cheat. You know,
and
they get overlooked. They get overlooked. And like I said, my oldest daughter told me, I'll never forget this. She was in the 5th grade and she said, "Mommy, they cheat."
Yeah, they do all the time. I watched them do that all through college. That's why I did that video on them, because everybody is always trying to prop these people up, and they are just nothing but the biggest cheaters on the face of the earth. And you can even find articles in their own country where teachers had to throw out whole exams because they all cheated.
I can remember when my daughter was in her first year of college, she wanted to take a few courses during the summer at a community college. And she told me they had a big test to take. And she said that the teacher, because it was predominantly Asians in there, deliberately left the room. Deliberately. And it was like a code type of thing. She could see, like, it was like, okay, I'm going. Do what y'all gonna do. And they immediately start whipping out their phones, talking in their own language and everything. I was like, So the teachers are just complicit into it as well.
You know why they are? You know why? Money.
No. Money.
That was the reason why they wouldn't do nothing about it in college, because apparently the Asian students pay more money than everybody else. So because of that, they wouldn't do anything to them when they saw them cheating. It was all about money.
Boy, let some of us get caught cheating. They'd be ready to take them to jail. Everything, you know, everything they do to us is over amplified. Hey, Taryn, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Tareen.
How are you? What's going on, Lisa, King Hebrew, True Royal?
Peace, King. Peace, King.
Doing good.
I called it. I don't know if you saw the video that I did. I called it. I said, I have a strong feeling they're going to convict him because it was some of the stuff that was coming out against him that it was no way that they was going to just let him simply walk from this, because his was so intense.
I had learned from your channel that, which it was something that I didn't know, that you know, you see how pitiful he looked. He had the nerve to ask the other cops why y'all didn't shoot him. I'm like, wow.
Because it was like, because, you know, he had the one officer that was there that pulled him away because, you know, he was getting ready to reload his gun to continue shooting. That was the one who was on the stand and testified and said he didn't fear for his life. Now, like I said in my video, notice that when another cop, the one that happened down in Texas, when he got on the stand and he said the same thing, he got sent to jail for 15 years. Now he's going to jail. Well, we don't know what the sentence is going to be because he got on the stand and said the same thing. So basically what it's telling me now is if you have someone get on the stand who was there, who goes against that whole fear for your life rhetoric, that means that they're going to really look into that and they might actually convict them. Because now I'm seeing the pattern.
And another thing that I've been adding in it, I've been saying they have to look at this as a business decision, you know, because they know they're gonna have to they're gonna have to have a silver. Well, they don't always have to do. They can just file the paperwork. They don't necessarily have to have a civil trial. But that's how I'm looking at how, okay, are you going to invest so much money in this damn pig? You're going to pay for the lawyers. You know, you already got to pay the family off. And then, you know, all of this costs. My husband told me something that was deep. He was tickled because I had showed him Lisa's video where the cop had shot herself and they had offered her, gave her, you know, a deal. And my husband told me this. He said, anytime the prosecutor or the unquote DA offer you a deal, he said, take it. He said, if you don't take it, they're going to throw the book in your face and you're going to do way more time. So you should have took them damn 5 years. Because they look at, and the reason why he was saying they throw the book in your face, because then they got to spend more money for litigation and everything. That's why I start saying they also looking at it as business, you know?
And one other thing too, I noticed that a lot of people were saying that, oh, he should have got him for first degree murder. I said that would have been nice, but that would have been fatal probably against the defense, because what would have ended up happening is they would have had to prove without the shadow of a doubt that he actually planned on murdering Laquan McDonald. And when I say planned, I mean to the extent, let's just put it like, say, for example, say that Laquan McDonald may have did something personal to him. First degree murder would have been Jason Van Dyke going out to hire an assassin to kill him. That would be first degree murder. Murder in the second degree, they knew they could get him because it wasn't premeditated, but it was still murder, you know, with malice nonetheless. But then I also just looked up before I got on your Hangout because this is actually the main reason I wanted to get on here, was because a lot of people were worried, okay, he's got 16 counts of aggravated battery. So, like, you know, people were saying, oh, he's going to get 1 year for each count. But actually, when I looked up, and if this sticks, he will be going to, if it sticks, and I'm not going to, this is a very big if, he'll be going to jail for the rest of his life, even without life. The reason why I say that is because based on what I read in an article, each count is 6 years per count. 16 times 6 is 96 years.
Damn.
And someone said at 85%, you're probably not looking at less than 70 years in jail.
Well,
hypothetically speaking, if hypothetically speaking that was the stick, he's going to go to jail for the rest of his life.
Good, he needs to. When you look at that video footage, did you see how he got on the stand and tried to?
I seen it,
the jury that what they saw in that video was not really what they saw.
Yeah, and then he's gonna talk about, because I went and listened to what you had to say the other day, and I fell out when you said he gonna kill the knife. He's shooting at the knife. He's so scared, and I'm like, I hold you to a high standard. This is your profession, so y'all can't have it both ways. And then in the interview, when they interviewed him, he said, "Oh, I did everything according to my training." And so I said, "Oh, you're a robot then." You know, they throw that back. You know, they done made grave errors. Well, you know, that's how they trained us. So you can't think for yourself. So they real quick to be inadequate, fear for my life, and all of that. And it's like, wait a minute, this is your profession. What's going on?
And it was also something else that came out yesterday too. I was going to do a video about it, but I said, nah, I'll wait and see, you know, what's coming up with this verdict, because that's more important. But yesterday they said he had got some kind of call from his daughter's school saying that they were making death threats against her. and he had left the courtroom. I think this is like when they were doing recess or something like that, and he went to go tend to his daughter. Now, I don't know where his daughter's school is at, but clearly it's not near where the courthouse is. They said he was almost late coming back from recess. They said if he was even a minute late, he would have violated his probation.
Wow.
And that would have been added. That would have probably been, and he would have violated his probation, and they would have, and it was something they would have revoked. To me,
that sounds like some bogus shit. They should have sent a family member. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
why couldn't his wife go?
Yeah.
Why couldn't his wife be the one to go?
It was other relatives.
I don't know.
Remember, they have the high IQ.
I wanted to bring something up on the Amber Geiger. One of my subs that lived down there in Dallas told me that there's a dilemma that they have hit, because I done brought up this day in the middle of an election season, and there's a lot of different things going on down there, and they were saying that in the state of Texas, you can get some serious time just on home invasion, and they threw that in there, home invasion on her part, plus he ends up dead. And they said home invasion and you dead, you get the needle down there in Texas, which we know she ain't gonna get that. But it was just talking about how serious this is, and behind the scenes they trying to figure out how to charge her, like based on what you're talking about. They know how to charge you, like how they just threw away what's his name? Well, I want to forget our royal son's name. George Zimmerman had killed Trayvon Martin. That the prosecutor, they knew how to charge him. They deliberately did what they did. They know what they're doing. That's why I was saying these are these people's profession. And when it comes to dealing with us, convenient amnesia come in. They don't know how to execute anything. They are very deliberate in their intentions about what they do with us. I just wanted to put that out there.
No, that's very true. And not only that, whenever you use a key fob, it's all recorded. Every time you swipe your card, it's recorded into a database. So they would be able to see when she came to that door, and if she used her key fob, it should have declined. It should have turned red. And I
can't wait for them to put that out.
Pick up on that. It's just like when you go to the hotel and you stay, and you know how they give you the card to swipe. Every time you go in and out of your room, they literally can go to software and see all of the times you entered and exited the room. They will be able to see all of that.
Yeah, and I hear where you're coming from. Those doors, them doors should not even be up now. They should be secured.
Right. And there's no way those doors just stay propped open, like she's trying to say, because you saw those doors are weighted. So whenever you let go of the handle, they slam shut.
They are fire retarding. I can't pronounce that other word. Doors.
Retardant.
Yeah, retardant doors. And I rarely have I ever seen that in an apartment complex. That's rare. That's very rare. They put money into that place.
Yeah. I think they said it was more of a high scale kind of apartment.
It was, because what I did was I did a video, Lisa, where I looked up the apartment, and you know how when people want to rent something, you can look at the floor plans and all the amenities that they have. And they had advertised it in a way where it's the state of the art type of apartment complex. What they call them, flats, and all the different things that they had to offer and stuff. And I was like, this is very high end, and I know that like when I lived, it was a town in California I lived in. A lot of people don't know about it. It's right next door to Oakland. It's called Alameda. And you have to go through a tunnel, and it's high all over California. So anyway, me and my husband, we were living in this gated community, and we me and the kids and all of us, we went swimming there one day, and this white woman had the nerve. She couldn't control herself. How are y'all able to pay rent here? I got up and left because I already knew what my husband was going to say. And the reason why I'm saying this is she gives me an impression she one of those type. Well, how can he pay his rent there? I mean, she had a hard on for him, you know, and then him living above her, just evil, you know, because they trip off of stuff like that. And then somebody even said, well, how could a cop even afford to live there? And then that's the part that went over my head. I was so busy looking at other stuff. I did not realize she was the unquote security there too as well. I do remember them saying security, but I thought I just overlooked that part. And that's how her ass was able to live in there, because that you have to pay a pretty penny to live in one of them places.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you start talking about the city also.
Yeah.
That also makes it even more expensive where, you know, it's Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. And that's one thing, well, not one of many things. If you're living around them, they're trying to figure out how you pay bills. And I couldn't believe that woman get ready to say, well, how y'all pay y'all rent here? My husband cussed that woman out. I told you I was getting up. I said, let me go. He gonna cuss her out. I might as well go in the house. They just nosy like that.
Well, they always want to know what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They've always been like that.
What was so funny was a lady from I think she was from Romania, and my husband said to her, because she wasn't attractive at all, and she had a little boy. He said, "Who the fuck married your ugly ass?" And I slammed the gate. I could hear the gate slamming when he was saying that, because I knew he was gonna go in. So I just I said, my goodness. I said they walked into a lion's den. You have to talk crazy to these people sometimes to get them off of you, because they really feel emboldened. I seen a video where this summer, this white old woman, the brother had his car door open, and she was just all up in his face, and he was like, "Ma'am, please step away, ma'am. Please step away." But them women ain't afraid. They'll get up in your face. But then when they bite off more than they can chew, then they put on them crocodile tears and all of that and stuff. But Van Dyke, didn't he look pitiful on that up there? And I said, this dude is weak.
Yeah. Did you see my video yesterday where he was sitting there giving testimony?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I seen it. I said, this dude is weak. And I was surprised that they allowed him up on the up there to testify. I was really astounded with that. Really astounded. I said, oh, okay, they're gonna take a chance on him, because that's a prosecutor. If they being real, they'll eat you alive. And he, I said, this shit is rehearsed. He's all trembling and crying and stuff, and I'm like, you got all the damn arsenal. And based on the call that they had, they had to know that was it was a situation where somebody was on drugs, because they just kept their distance and just followed him where he went. And another thing, one of my subs, people be having some good eyes. They said he was taking that knife, stabbing himself in the chest. So you knew he had to be, psychotic at that point where you're stabbing yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But this Billy Badass gonna ask when I heard that yesterday, I said, no, he didn't ask them. He was indignant about it too. Why y'all didn't shoot him?
Wow.
I ain't surprised, but I don't know how long it's gonna take, because I didn't even look it up yet, because sometimes it takes a while for them to sentence this guy. I'm glad now that we don't get all excited, because first we used to get excited. Oh, they indicted them. Now, you got to go all the way to the wire with these people, And then even if they do get the time that we want them to get, my attitude is it ain't enough. I'm having their type of attitude. And that's what, because it's still a lot of injustice, going on. They locked up a sister for voting.
Yeah, I saw them.
Yeah. And they were saying that it was a white woman. She didn't even know she was doing anything wrong. They were saying that a white woman did the same thing, but she knew what she was doing. She deliberately registered in 2 different counties. And and that's down in Texas too as well. So that spoke volumes. That they're cherry picking and going out of their way, their intentions. So I'm not gonna ever. We just have to reinforce not to be grateful with these people. And one thing that I'm happy about, we knowing how the process worked. And when I don't know if any of y'all had a chance to see it. When I did the video where they had the town hall meeting, the damn DA, Faith Johnson, she acted like she was pissed off. She had to answer to her people. That's the one I did with.
Comes off really fake,
shady. That's the one where Roland Martin was there.
Yeah.
And how much? What I'm sick of hearing is investigating. How many more investigations do y'all need? It ain't that much to look
the way
into.
I see it, the only thing I see them doing is investigating Botham Jean. When are they investigating Amber Geiger?
They, and that pissed them off. They couldn't find anything. I know they looked high and low.
Well, I know, Queen, I saw a story yesterday that said they were looking into public records to see what they can find on Botham Jean.
What?
Yeah. I read that yesterday.
You know what? When I got hurt at work, the first lawyer that I had, I fired. So they had mailed me all of my records, my medical records. And I was going through them. And I was born in Phoenix, Arizona. Do you know that they had my medical records up to the day that I was born? And my mother was still living at the time. And I didn't know I was a sickly baby. I had a lot of fever. And I was telling my mother this, and I'm like, damn, what is they looking for? All I did was hurt my back. What is they looking for? They looking in my records up to the point I was a baby? So that lets you know how far they'll dig.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they were looking for anything wrong. Just like they tried to run with the marijuana thing, but it really was our pushback that kind of shut that down.
Did you hear the interview that Afro Synergy did with Botham Jean's it's a barber that lives in the building. He's not necessarily his barber, but he gave a lot of insight. And I had put the video up on Black Junction where he was saying that he said he didn't understand how she didn't know where she was at. Because I go back to the parking lot. Because he said when you go to the 4th floor, you're looking at the sky. And then don't you always park in the same location? And I imagine as high end as that place, you don't randomly park. You have a designated spot where you park at.
Oh yeah, you have an assigned parking spot. So there would be no reason for her to go up on the 4th level. Why would she go on the 4th level?
What's also been helpful too is I've been really listening to a lot of Cheryl Dorsey because she brought up something that I didn't think of, and she was talking about having the police uniform on, and she said something that tickled me. She said most cops is real cheap, so they rather just go ahead and take a shower at the station, use whatever, they always want, now these days, it's been happening a lot up here in California. The cops can't even get free donuts and coffee anymore. In fact, they don't even want them in the donut shops no more. They say they dangerous. And she was saying that her having that her uniform on, she was protected, just having it on, even though she was unquote off duty. Plus, it would help her to engage. Say, for instance, hypothetically speaking, he rung the doorbell. He looks in the peek hole and he sees a uniform, and some people see a uniform and think they're safe. So that was that. It's like this. It's like this. This is what I was tripping off of. That particular day, management had went there for a complaint. He was upset because he told his girlfriend, you know, the management keep coming there. And I'm like, it's a lot of activity around his apartment on the day that he killed. This ain't coincidental. That's her.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree. And they said she actually filed a complaint about him that same day.
And she had only lived there 2 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know, but I don't believe nothing she said. And I'm so glad Botham Jean's mom said she don't believe nothing that Amber Geiger said. And I'm glad she didn't start that I forgive you nonsense.
And somebody
I'm so grateful for that.
Somebody put a rumor out too, saying that woman had forgive. That's what they did with the Jazzy Rowe case. And I knew our folks was gonna go off saying that Jazzy Rowe had went to court there in support. And I said, our folks don't even know the law. You have to go to court. That's the day of the sentencing. You give your victim impact statement. I said, why we don't take the time to learn basic law? I did this with my children when they way before they got their first job. I wanted them to study on their own, just basic employee and employer law, so they understand what's going on. We can't be sending our babies out here not having the clue, because they're gonna run up on the enemy on something. You gotta have them armed so they'll know what to do. Because these white kids are holler in a heartbeat. I know my rights.
Yeah.
You know. You hoping and wishing and praying, oh, they hope they be nice to my kids. They vultures out here.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. And that's one thing the Black community really got to collectively work on. Too many of us are sending our kids out the front door totally naive about these cops and about how they operate. Or even people in general calling the police on you for no reason. You know, our kids are still not prepared enough for those things as they come up, you know? And it's too many times they're getting caught off guard. And at this point, at this stage of the game, none of us should be that off guard out in public anymore.
Yeah, because my oldest son lives in Southern California, and he's been pulled over a few times. And I'm eternally grateful to my husband. He's more than once with my son and then his 2 sons taught them to make sure your registration right, keep your car clean, don't have your partners in there drinking or whatever and stuff like that. And he's not saying, and he was realistic. He said, I'm not saying that's gonna save you. But he did say, make sure to check your brake lights and all this type of stuff. And so my son had went to go eat at some little mall, and this Mexican cop pulled him over, and he said he could tell he was one of these hotheads. And you wouldn't believe what that cop asked my son. He asked my son, what did you eat at the restaurant? And
yeah.
So my son
Queen, I had a Chrysler 300 and I had a customized grill on it. So I went into the supermarket and I came out to start loading my groceries into my trunk, and a cop was directly behind my Chrysler. So I'm looking at him, I'm thinking, okay, did he run my tags or something? Why is he there? So I'm walking and approaching my car, and all of a sudden he pulled in the parking spot next to my car. And then he backed up to where I was at the trunk, and he said, where did you get that grill from? I'm like, oh my God, he scared the hell out of me. When I was walking to my car, I'm wondering, oh my God, what did he run my tags and find something? What the hell is going on? It is just not normal for a cop to be directly in back of your car like that.
I would feel the same way. We encountered the same thing. Same thing. We just got rid of it too. We had a Hummer the biggest one you got out there too. And my husband, he changed the grill on it too, like you're talking about. And then he keeps it waxed up. And one time we went to the gas station and a white guy was trying to be, it was an older white guy trying to be funny, talking about, can you afford that? They just can't stay out of our business. We can have a vehicle too. We can have one. They think they are entitled to it. And I remember my grandfather was telling me, which something I didn't even know. He said there was a time when Cadillacs came out, they wouldn't even sell them to us. You had to, if you wanted to get one, you have to go find a white friend to buy you one. I mean, to go purchase it for you. And I'm like, wow. So they still got that stuff in them.
Man, the Most High need to torch this place.
Mm-hmm, sure. It's a cesspool. I remember I was listening to Mr. Superboy, and he was saying he got a nice little custom truck, and he went to this little restaurant, and he said he said a lot of them people that was working in there was damn near look like elderly white folks, and they was looking, they was having to serve him. They don't like that. And that's them. See, when you see a lot of them working in those type of jobs, those are a lot of them that voted against their own interests because they so worried about us getting anything that they don't know that these politicians don't give a damn about them. And when they retire, they don't have enough money, and they have to go get their ass up and go to work. And then they will look at you like, well, why you're able to stay home.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you know what, Queen, you're going to see that more often, mm-hmm. Because of, the low birth rate and these next generations coming into adulthood, mm-hmm. It's far less of them. Mm-hmm. There are stories out there where they're asking people to work beyond retirement now because mm-hmm. they're having a hard time filling so many positions in this country.
Well, I've been listening real close to you, and it's two things that I picked up on strongly, and it finally came out because it's been a buildup what you've been doing. Because I literally said you're stripping them apart. Okay, you had did a video a long time ago where they was considering not even having drug testing.
Yes.
And I said to myself, so are they basically saying that we're gonna have to watch out for these fools being high at work? And you put out a video just recently, and I said, I knew that was coming. Because you put out a video where these people is high at work and they just look the other way, and yeah. that puts everybody else in danger. They high, man, because you was talking that story.
But you know what? They don't care, Queen, because they still prefer for their folks to be in these places of businesses working over us.
That guy
they will resort to sitting there watching them be high on the job.
That guy you were talking about, who shoot up hair run, it wasn't like he was trying to hide. He was on hair run or anything,
mm-hmm.
Because literally you said I guess he overdosed and he sat in the car and got himself together and went on back to work. I'm like, what? So it was like, I think you did that video last year, and then you did this video last week or so, and I was like, wow. I said that is scary. But then I was just looking at how resentful and hateful they is. They still, like you said, they want you to they still want their own to work. Because I had some footage of these two white women working at a convenience store, and they couldn't even they were so high on heroin, they was nodding at the checking out the stuff.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mm-hmm. That is crazy. That is crazy.
I see, Light Bearer, you said you thought Amber Geiger had master keys. I don't think she did. I think she only had her fob. Just her key fob. I don't think she
they said she had. They said that maybe I'm getting that. No. I tell you where I heard it from. I heard it from Cheryl Dorsey. She was saying that Cheryl Dorsey said that she had the master key.
Okay.
And she told it on.
I had heard that her neighbors said they heard, Botham Jean's neighbor said they heard her knocking on that door and say, "Let me in."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
you know, there are people that said that because she was knocking at that door around 10. And you know, a lot of people are still up at night at 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that I think about it, Cheryl Dorsey was talking about the evidence that they had, and she was talking about the key because she kept focusing on that, and that's why I had asked you that question the other day. And she said she had the master ones because they had two. She had hers and then the master one.
Okay. I mean, it could be possible. I just haven't seen that. But I do know, you know, the witnesses, the two witnesses that came forward and said they heard her knocking on that door before he shot Both and Jean. And they also
I believe that too. I believe that.
And they also said, you know, that he didn't respond to her commands. And they're saying that they didn't hear no commands. When that door opened, they just heard nothing but shots after that.
Yeah, and I tell you something else. Somebody pointed out, because I've been telling people to put on their detective hats. They said, okay, she claiming she thought she was at her apartment, and they said she had a dog, and they said, you know how they feel about their dogs. That woman wasn't gonna be in there shooting in there and end up killing her dog. I'm like, oh, okay, that's something else to think about. That's true.
Yeah, we know how they feel about dogs. They sure like them more than black people. We know that.
They sure do. The video that you did the other day with that white woman shooting herself, I had put down that was Amber Geiger's older sister. It's in their blood. Because I remember that woman don't look the same when they first arrest her. Because I remember when it all went down, they had interviewed her and her kids. And when I looked at them, I said, "These some poor white trash. You can see it in their face." I said, "How she managed to get a job?" And the thing that gets me is she described this big old black man, and they go find him one, and it always made me think about. Remember that white woman years ago had drowned her two kids in the car and said that a black man hijacked the car and threw her out the car, and he the one that did it.
Susan Smith?
Yeah, Susan. Do you know they found a black guy and arrested him?
They always can find one of us, but you know, the man they caught didn't mix. You know, they said he matched the description, but he had an alibi, so they had to let him go.
Well, you know what? That was the first time, and the last time actually, that Susan Smith family got up on the podium and said that they apologized to the African American community and stuff. But when I watched the documentary on it, they was on tour anyway, and it was just so silly where she was working at the when she was dating the owner's son of the company.
Yeah, he didn't even want her. Did you know that? He didn't even want her butt.
He told her because she had kids. And so I guess she just thought I'll eliminate my children. And I'm like, wow. That boy. But I can't get over the fact that they can find somebody after a description. And a lot of times they do know that they people is lying, but they still go all the way with it.
Yeah,
they go all the way with it and stuff. So we got to see what's gonna happen next with the sentencing, and whatever the sentencing is. Like I said, it ain't gonna never be enough with me. That's my attitude about everything. They can say they're gonna give them the needle, they're gonna do this and that. That's my attitude about everything, because they don't know how to leave. They don't know how to leave us alone.
Trust me, they're gonna have Jason Van Dyke's wife boo-hooing all over the place again soon in an interview.
Well, you know, when you know, she had the nerve say that certain people ain't they friends no more. She lost her job, and he was only doing his job, and the same she had the same attitude like I forget the cop's name that shot the brother in the back, and he had to end up doing time. And they had interviewed his wife, and then but they didn't show her face. Remember, they interviewed his mother, and they just, when it come to us, they just stunned.
Yeah.
They just stunned by it. But I'm gonna put the link after this video upload. There's a video, a half an hour video where the judge is giving the instructions to the jury, but no, not the jury, to the black family. I'm gonna keep it core. Don't get excited, don't get emotional. And he had an attitude that, you killed a child. And I've been very specific with my words too as well. Because you see how the media manipulate wordplay, and he wasn't no man, he was a child. Because with us, they over amplify everything. Everything. What happened to King Wage? Where you at? You went to sleep on us?
No, I'm just patiently waiting. I'm not even sure if my mic was even working. I wasn't even too sure about that.
You sound fine.
Oh, okay. If there's one thing that I should say to the royal family, is that we should all know that white supremacy does not like taking L's. And when they don't like taking L's, there's some kind of retaliation that's about to happen. So for this, for this month and here on out, you know what I'm saying? Just be very vigilant, watch your back, especially Halloween. Stay your asses at home, because that would be the perfect time for them to actually do something in a mass amount. You know what I'm saying?
And then the crazy thing is they brought it on themselves, right. And then we're gonna see a bunch of them put on blackface and act like they clueless. That's they famous for doing that every Halloween. Oh, I didn't have a clue. No, remember everything they do, their intentions, and we gotta be the same way. These people are so predictable in what they do.
King Wage is right, because a lot of people believe Nia Wilson's killing was a retaliation killing.
The video that you did the other day, Lisa, about up here in the Bay Area.
The police.
Yeah, with the police. And King Wage can back me up because he's about 15 minutes from me. It is so racist up here. They try to come off like the Bay Area and San Francisco is so liberal. And
no, it's a true fact, because even with my hair, I have locks in my hair, and I get criticized every day I step out the doors. So I'm already knowing. I mean, they don't have to blatantly say that oh, you a nigga and all this, but I already know from the way they speak to me and from the way they look at me, I always have eyes on me, no matter where I go.
Yeah. So they try to give that impression up here in the Bay, with them being liberal. And I remember this, how well I remember it. It was back in 1985. That's how well I remember this. That's the year I graduated from high school. And I was talking to a friend, and we were over in the Castro. And the Castro is the gay community. They got a lot of gays have businesses in the Castro district. And when you get to the Castro district, you'll even see the rainbow flags. I mean, they got a lot of political power over there and everything. And I just, out the blue, didn't know the word back then, how empathic I was, and the whole royal family is. I'm putting that out there for a reason. And I said to my friend, I said, you know what? I said, these gay people, they discriminate, and they're racist too.
Oh yeah, they do. They do.
And I was a teenager when I said that. And they get the hide behind, you get the hide behind being gay. You get the hide behind being a fake Jew. You get the hide behind being a feminist. They hide behind those things and do all type of dirt.
Mhm.
And they had a case up here in San Francisco where a brother had went to a bar in the Castro district. He was gay, and they kicked him out. And he said that he had a couple encounters with them in that bar, and he was telling them people that he said they discriminating, and they blew him off. And I said, wow, almost 20 years later, I had made that prediction, and they just blew it off. And then there was another case where I don't know what state this was in, where and this was a black guy that did it. He was gay and a unquote pastor, and he had bought a cake at some store, and then when he get home, I guess they said they put faggot on the cake and all that stuff. He was the one that put it on the cake, because I think they were at Trader Joe's. Every time you make a purchase at that particular store, you're being filmed for each transaction. It was like one time I went to Walmart and bought my son a coat when he was real small, and when I got home, the coat wasn't there, and I had the receipt and everything, and they made me wait for like about 20 minutes, and they looked on the camera and they said, yeah, you did buy the coat, and something had happened where where it just got misplaced, but they seen that I had got it, or I didn't pick it up. It was years ago. But anyway, back to the gay guy. So yeah, he deliberately put fag on the cake. We didn't hear nothing else about that case anymore. See, they get the high of doing they damn dirt.
Yeah. Yeah. I know around here, even in my state, that's a lot of people complain about the racism among gays, you know, and it is very prevalent, like you said, in America, and they get away with it. And someone told me it's even worse on jobs when you have to deal with their, feminism and all that stuff, plus they're gay.
Well, yeah, because see, like when you were talking about this, Lisa, at the San Francisco Police Department, they got them all there, and I
gay
had
cops.
Yeah, tons of them. And I'm gonna tell you where I first time I got to see them. This was so funny. I have a girlfriend, we really close, and we like to go hang out every once in a while when we can. She's a little bit older than me, so we was gonna go to the Cheesecake Factory over in San Francisco. So it ain't no need driving nowhere in the city. You just catch public transportation. Ain't nowhere to park. Well, when we got on the BART over in Oakland, it was some big husky chicks all on there. I'm not getting it. Wasn't nowhere to sit. But I looked and I was like, damn, these some big chicks on this BART. But I was so happy to see my girlfriend Catherine. We was just chopping it up. So we get off downtown San Francisco, and we made a mistake. When we came up, we were at the gay parade. And
are you kidding me,
girl? Yes, I was at the gay parade. And what happened was, when we came up, we had to wait till the parade was over. We couldn't cross the street, and they wouldn't let us go back down the stairs to go to the other side. So we had got off on the wrong side. We could have went back up the stairs and been on the other side of the street. So the parade was just getting ready to get started, and the first thing that came out was dykes on bikes. Most of them were fat white women. They didn't have they bras on, and then most of their girlfriends were skinny, and they had on the leather and all that kind of stuff like that. And then eventually the gay cops came down, and I remember it was two good-looking brothers. They was just working overtime for the parade. And when the gay cops came down, it was one in particular, and he was saying hi to the brothers, and they was acting like they didn't know him. Me and my girlfriend, we laughed till we couldn't hurt. She said, I hope Channel 2 News don't come out here. They're gonna think me and you funny. And it was so funny, all the stuff that we think. But one more thing I wanted to bring up, because I don't want to lose sight of it. They got very quiet behind those kids getting killed up in Oregon. They kidnapped them children. The state of Texas is complicit in kidnapping those black kids. They was living with their auntie. She was stable. She had already raised children, and them two white women wanted children, and they took them out of a stable household, and then they moved them kids up to Seattle, starved them, did all kind of stuff to them, because they said later on when they found their remains, I guess they was giving them some type of medication to make them sleep or something. But you notice you ain't heard nothing else about it.
No, because they know they killed them kids.
Yeah, wasn't feeding them or anything like that. So it's a sad thing. Lisa,
wow. CRU, I saw what you wrote. A gay got me fired, and I was his boss. Oh man!
Wow,
that is deep.
That sure is.
But yeah, they always do that to us. You know, unfortunately, when we're on jobs every day, they won't leave us the hell alone. They always want to plot and try to do any underhand thing they can think of to us. And if they can't figure out something, they'll go straight up lie to the boss and tell them that you did something that you never did. I've seen them do that to black folks too.
Yeah, because when my father was telling me how, he said, I asked my father one day, I said, why do they pull these stunts at work? He said they feel real safe there. Like we're so scared to lose our job, and they feel like ain't nobody gonna knock the hell out of them. So it's like their little playground. Because he said off the job, they wouldn't pull them stunts.
No.
And it's only so much, there's a different breed of black folks, and I've been saying this for a while. The crack babies are having babies. So that's two sets of chemically imbalanced people. These kids ain't even listening to us. And they're not gonna go along with certain things that they're trying to implement here in this country. I was listening to my oldest daughter. She's 36, and we were talking about slavery, and she was like, oh hell no way, I'm not doing that. And the enemy just wants to continue for this to keep going on and on and on and on and on. And I know that the enemy is reading the word and seeing these prophecies being fulfilled, but they just got something within them that they want to deny it. I guess I would go back to Pharaoh, with all those different events that Pharaoh went through, that they're in a big state of denial. And I have been around them when things have been out of control. They want you to help them. They'll switch it that quick. They want your help, but then they want to go back to their nasty ways. That's like when 9/11 happened, and everybody was all up in their feelings, and I wasn't. I said, when is they going to go back to business as usual? They run into church. They didn't want them to put that crap on TV. They want donations and all of that. I said, how long that shit gonna last? They wasn't fooling me with that,
Somebody had explained that to me years ago. They said when white people are feeling depressed or feeling less confident, they reach out for black people.
Yeah, for therapy.
To be comforted. Whenever they start getting their confidence back, that's when they push you aside and they act like they don't need you anymore.
Yep, I've seen it at work, because I had to tell a girlfriend one time at work about that. I said, you got to watch them. I said, they'll be wanting some therapy from you. She said, what you mean? I said, yeah, they'll be going through something, and they'll come over there complaining to you, and then you'll be thinking you're equal to them. And I said, you're never equal to them. You're superior. And that's they fight. Because I said, how they get down, I said, when we fight, we done with each other. I said, they'll fight and go to the bar with each other.
Yeah. But see, me, Queen, as I start aging and getting older, I don't allow them to lean on me. I don't allow them to use me like that.
Yeah, taking your energy.
And they want to get comfort. They can't. I won't let them get it with me.
It's not your problem. It is not your problem. No, you know what? It's none of your damn business. That's your white people problems. Get the hell away from me with that.
Yeah.
The hell away with that kind of stuff. My my daughter was telling me she experienced that on a couple of jobs, and my daughter is not she's not very talkative. And she's just one of those type. And she's not friendly either. She just go do her job, and she's been told that she's mean, and all kind of stuff. And
oh yeah, I was told I was anti-sociable because I would talk to a lot of them on a job, and I said I figured then, you know what, I must be doing something right.
But my daughter was telling me, she said she don't want them to know none of her business, and she said that we talked about them so much. Especially my father. My father just drilled it in our head about these white folks, that she said she believed them. She said, I believed them. And she said she's seen a lot of people that are on at work try to be all chummy with them and stuff, and how they use them at work and treat them like a rag doll. And she said she just stay away from them. They want to know where you live. They just be wanting to know everything about you. You don't need to know a damn thing. She got the supervisor called her in the office once because the white girl she was working with said she don't talk. And at that time she was still in college. You know how they had those work study programs at college? At that college she was working at the gym, and you had people come in and you check them in, you give them a towel, and when they trained them, they told them don't be all talkative up there. You do your job, because customer service is terrible now. They have these kids working on these jobs and they don't know customer service. Because I can remember far back, I can remember them putting gas in your car, checking your oil, checking everything on your car. I can remember going to the shoe store with my mother, and she would want some shoes, and the salesman would know her. Then he would suggest shoes. Shoe, you on your own now. Them days is over with. So, that just, and then now we got this technology, and people are not interacting like that. It's like you see these kids go on a date, they looking at their cell phone.
Well, yeah, they said today's technology has made people more anti-sociable. Because everybody's on social media. People are not interacting face to face like they did years ago. Even 2 decades ago, we were still gathering together and we're, interacting face to face, where people are doing that less now. And because of that, they're losing their people skills.
Yeah.
They're more cold and brash, and they really don't know how to relate to people.
So what you do, you go on a date and you're sitting across the table at dinner and y'all just texting each other back and forth. You can't cut the damn phone off.
That's the truth.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm gonna close this out. I wanted to ask you, I had emailed you because I didn't want to cross over because I was gonna do a hangout tomorrow. What time are you having Bible study?
About 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Your time. 3 your time.
My time.
Okay. Because I had missed a little bit of it last weekend because I went to I'm gonna make y'all laugh. I'm gonna tell y'all one more thing. I went to a picnic with my husband, and there's a park in Oakland called the Infirmary Park, and every year McClimate's High School have a class reunion, so all the different classes will come, and even the class that just recently graduated come too. So yeah, I seen the oldest class I seen was like, I think 1952. So they were playing jazz music, not jazz, it was playing the blues. And this man was just singing and singing. And I kept saying his voice sounded kind of familiar. So I stepped over there and looked, and it was Fillmore Slim singing the blues. Oh, wow. Yeah, because that's once he stopped pimping, he got on the blues circuit, and I was like, wow. I said, look at this, there's a pimp over here singing the blues. So I went to one of them I seen them old 72 pimps trying to wear them same old clothes. Oh my goodness, folks was barbecuing everywhere. Oh my goodness. And then some of the women, they trying to squeeze in these outfits that they shouldn't even wear. And it's like, come on, sister, you done got a little weight on you. Come on now, stop.
Trying to hear something funny, Queen.
Yeah.
When my father died, I had to go through his clothes in his closet.
Mm-hmm.
And I donated some of his suits and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, I went way in the back of his closet. I mean, way in the back. He has an old walk-in closet. I went way in the back there. You remember them old leisure suits?
I know my grandfather used to wear
them old leisure suits.
Oh, that's funny.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
When I pulled them things out, I couldn't do nothing but laugh.
Oh, that is hilarious. He saved that stuff. I remember my grandfather in Arizona used to wear them suits.
Saved it. I mean, it was like way in the far back of the closet, but I still had some leisure suits back there.
That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Stuff get revealed after a person passed. My goodness. Oh, that's a
kept that. You could sell that as vintage.
Yep, you sure can. He probably was right there laughing with you. He probably told you, don't go back there. Don't go back there. You gonna run up into something.
I couldn't do nothing but laugh. And my father had a rainbow of them too. Every color you can think of.
Oh, that's hilarious. Woo! Oh my goodness, that's a good laugh. Okay, family. Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
you had a few wayward. He's like, not funny. I had a few. He's on. I had leisure.
That's so good. We not laughing at you.
You know what that is? That's just proof that America don't have no damn culture whatsoever. They change up everything every season.
You know what I used to call those suits? I used to call those suits the Johnny Carson suits.
Oh yeah,
that's what I would call them. I remember that because my grandfather was wealthy in Arizona and cheap. When we would go down there to visit him, I'm gonna take you to dinner. We knew where we were going. Piccadilly. That's where them old folks go, and they wrap up the Jello. Everything is wrapped up, and you just pick what you want to pick. Piccadilly. He put them there. Stop. Oh, everybody had a good laugh, Lisa. All right, family. I'm gonna close out. With you feel like are you up to praying, Queen? Or I'm putting you on the spot.
You want one of my prayers?
Please.
Okay. You know, I can be one of them deep prayers.
I love prayer. And I love Bible study.
Okay, y'all. All right. My Heavenly Father, I seek your face. I ask you to continue to protect the children of Israel in the four corners of the earth. I ask that you put a special protection around Queen Royal and her family. I'm going to ask that you bless and give a special protection around all of our people in the chat. We ask you that you keep raining your vengeance down on the enemy. We ask you that you continue to watch over our children as they venture out of the house every day, going to school and coming home. We ask that you look after our loved ones in their travels. My Heavenly Father, your children need you. We need you. We need you more now than ever. We need your special warmth. We know that you're there and you're watching over us. And we're going to ask that you continue to keep us strong because we are in one wicked nation. So please keep us safe from the cops and from anybody out here that want to cause harm to us on a regular basis. Oh, my Heavenly Father, please stay with us. Hallelujah. Amen.
Amen. Wow, that was powerful. Thank you, Lisa. That was needed. That was needed. Powerful. So, you know how much I love music. Oh, most of us do. Let's see here. Here we go.
I don't really travel a whole lot.
1 Peter 2:9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
Word inside my heart, and pain before my eyes. People wanting to believe in something, looking for a light, trying to find the truth. I was in a chosen people.
My look, my style, the way I talk. Angel touch me on the hip, that is how I walk. Genesis 32, if you need to see. I'm the real seed of Jacob, that's who I be. You're poured into your world, I'm the lowest of low. But according to a higher, I'm as high as it go. And according to your shire, I'm like diamonds and gold. And everybody who blessed me will be blessed for sure. And everybody who cursed me finna fall through the flow. To a pit of hot lava, watch yourself with the Negro. J-U-D-A-H. Only if you knew the reason why it's me they hate. Cause I'm the one that's about to put with everything. Bring them down from high dwellers to eternal flame. But for now I'm in the slums, deaf, dumb, and blind. Thinking yo 37, tell you how I rise.
Into the bottom. Do you know who you are? Once we work the people, now we are the people. Do you know who you are?
Royalty, baby. Stay on top of their head. My crown is spiritual, never left my head. My crown invisible, my castle is coming. It ain't got here yet, but it ain't never gonna leave. Once it has been set, kinda rough right now, but it's gonna get better when it rains forever, even ever and ever. It ain't never gonna stop. Everlasting dominion. Take a good look, watch, despite all your religions. We the cream of the crop, despite all your opinions. Ordained by the Father, doves among pigeons. Don't push it this car, my recycling business. I make one in the spirit. I ain't out here sinning. Got some change I can borrow. They'll be y'all like no, giggling to each other, using me for their jokes. They laugh at me in public, but they just don't know. I'm the one finna judge them. Tell them where they gotta go. Gotta go. Yeah.
Into the bottom. Do you know who you are?
Royalty, baby.
Once we work the people, now we are the people. Do you know who you are?
Royalty, baby.
Royalty,
Kings and queens. Kings and
baby, you royalty. Lift your head, come back home, brother, you royalty. I was in the chosen people. It's all chosen people.
Remember, let's just be black first. At the top of your agenda, be royal. Nothing less.
Let's be one. When you see one, let's be one. King, when you see one, let's be one. Queen, when you see one, let's be one. King, when you see one,
Yes, with the royal family.
nope, we don't give a damn. You're a peasant, you're scram. Yep, you're on pro, we bake in royalty mode. 6,000 years is over. Next episode, let's be one. You're a queen when you see one, let's be one. You're a king when you see one, let's be one. You're a queen when you see one, let's be one. Let's be one. Let's be one. Royal family, baddest motherfuckers underneath something. Let me be over and track what we won. Black to grown to people lazy. We talk this shit slick. To the code we stick. Niggas be talking, we chillin' in our own damn house. Just come to control our cone, run around our shit like a goddamn mouse. Every time we be chilling in my own damn house. Just come control up, coon running around our shit like a goddamn house. Live in the royal family, cause we do shit KK. Royal family and send me on the royal ranch. 30 bites in the hour sounds like that damn red ant. Yup, let's be one. Know a queen when you see one. Yup, let's be one. Know a king when you see one. Yup, let's be one. Know a queen when you see one. Yup, let's be one. Know a king when you see one. Starting on Christmas, and adolescent. That's how we got royal folks behave. It's like business. Starting on Christmas, and adolescent. That's how we got royal folks behave. It's like business. King raised by your slumber. The most high and called over your number. Queen raised by your slumber. The most high and called over your number. Yup, let's be one. Yup, let's be one. Yup, let's be one. You're a queen when you see one. Yup, let's be one. Yup, let's be one. Yup, let's be one. You're a king when you see one.
How's the royal family?
Peace, blessings, and love, fam.
How's the royal family?
Blessings and love, fam.
How's the royal family?
Blessings and love, fam.
How's the royal family?
Blessings and love, fam. That go to show you the devil do what he wanna do. Ain't no Christianity.
The insult to injury my royal family is this country tries to play like and act like that does not exist at all. Does not exist at all.
Taking little boys' freedom away, manhood away, and ain't nobody going to jail.
The righteous of passage for a black male in America is to be racially profiled by the police. We all know it. We all know it.
That go to show you that's what they did. They want you to believe it. Something that ain't never existed and get mad at you.
And dealing with that, it affects you. It affects you mentally. It affects you physically. And that is the ultimate goal of the enemy, to fuck with our psyche.
Christianity is supposed to show love. According to their Bible, Jesus said, love ye one another. But how is that love? You're oppressing somebody.
Now, it just happened that this summer we have seen the hyperbia, how in this country, damn near the entire Caucasoid race profiles us. It ain't just the unquote police.
That's right. That is not of our culture. It is not of our nature to do evil things like that. We got a lot of brothers and sisters doing evil things like that because we are new people. We are not the same people our ancestors were before European invasion.
They'll call the police on us for the most frivolous thing. And many of us have been putting up videos as well as myself. And the thing that I have learned from this is that the police wants this to continue to go on, and because their attitude is you can never be sure.
Yes, the church commit genocide on their own people, not only the melanated families, started with their own people, and folks in Christianity in a cruel, in a vile way of genocide, murder, terror, and fear.
They continue to subjugate us and to fuck with our psyche. Now, the entire royal family, which has been going on all along, but see, Big Brother is watching you. And what the enemy did not factor in, that they would be watched too.
Animals do things like that. have no pity, have no compassion, have no love. And that's the way they think. These so-called Christians, these so-called Roman Catholics.
This is something they cannot and will not ever get on cold, because it is part of their nature to fuck with us. Every animal has an enemy, and we have one too. And we need to study nature more and what the animal kingdom do to protect themselves from their natural enemies.
And the Vatican is the house of Satan. The Vatican is the house of Satan. All these Baptist churches is the house of Satan. That's right, Baptist. All that we do, we have been conditioned to do. This lifestyle, this matrix that we are living in, this make-believe world.
All right, my royal family. That was a nice hangout. I thank everyone that came on the panel. And remember this, my royal family. We got to remember that we are truly in a war. We cannot lose sight of the kingdom. Don't get so distracted. That's my biggest concern. Distractions. We have to stay focused and get our individual house in order. This is the last phase of this. And the enemy is going to try to put terror in our heart. We just continue to stay God focused and continue to have total faith. I don't care how bad it get. Our Father keeps his promises. Just demonstrate faith. So, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.